Hey guys, we're going to go ahead and finish up our last two sets of notes on ancient China so that you can have all of the notes so you can be studying for your test next week. So let's go ahead and open to lesson 6 that we glued in earlier, and we are going to start. So the blank is 2,500 miles long. What do you think that is? Well, boys and girls, one of the most famous things in China is the Great Wall of China. So we're going to go and include the Great Wall of China. We're going to capitalize it because it is a proper noun. It's its name. Okay. All right. That is something that still exists today, and people go to see it. It has lasted a very long time and is something that sort of represents China, just like Statue of Liberty would represent the United States. If you see the Great Wall, you think of China. Next thing we're going to talk about is that the Chinese invented something. And look at my terrible typos here. They invented, actually, paper. Chinese invented paper in 100 BC. Okay, this last one's pretty important. So for number 3, China is known for a fiber called silk. So silk is made then into a material, and it was used by many of the wealthy and powerful rulers during this time. Silk from China was traded with other countries along a route known as the Silk Road. So we're going to write that here.
What the? Dear Tim and Moby, what was the purpose of the Great Wall of China? From Oren. The Great Wall of China was built mainly to defend against invaders from the north. Well, sure, a person could climb the wall. But China was more worried about nomadic or wandering tribes who traveled on horseback. Reaching up to 9 meters high, it would be almost impossible to get a horse across the wall. Well, the wall was built in sections during different periods in Chinese history, starting in the 3rd century BCE. Sections would be built independently, connecting the rest of the wall system as it grew. The original wall was nowhere near as long, high, or well built as what we see today. They just kept improving on it and adding to it as the centuries went by. With all of its branches, the Great Wall today extends over 6,400 kilometers through all kinds of terrain, including mountains and deserts. It's one of the most amazing constructions in human history. Most of what we see today was built during the Ming Dynasty, from the 14th to the 17th centuries. That was the 5th and last major period of construction. These are the most sophisticated sections of the Great Wall, made mainly of bricks, limestone, and granite. But builders had to use whatever materials were nearby, so some parts of it were just made of dirt and wood. Yeah, for a long time it worked as a national defense. Watchtowers are built at regular intervals into the wall. These allowed the armies manning the walls to spot invaders from a distance and give them a place to retreat if they needed. Large gates, or passes, are built into the wall at areas of strategic importance. And in the more sophisticated sections, the wall is wide enough for entire armies to walk along it. Inside the wall, complicated systems of stairways would confuse anyone who wasn't familiar with them. Well, in the 17th century, China was invaded and taken over by a nomadic group called the Manchus. Once they had control, the need for the wall didn't really exist anymore. There was no one else to keep out, so the construction of the wall stopped. Hey, I need to get through. I don't know the password. Come on, I have to go to the bathroom.
Okay, so go ahead and turn to the next page, and we're going to finish up with some notes on Chinese New Year. So, Chinese New Year is celebrated in January or February, also known as Lunar New Year. So let's go ahead and write that down here. So I started writing it without you again. Chinese New Year. Okay. And it lasts 15 days and includes parades, fireworks, and gift giving. So here we're going to write in 15 days. So how long is that? 15 days. Well, a week is 7 days. 2 weeks is 14 days. So 2 weeks and 1 day. All right, and the last thing we want to remember is the dancing dragon is a famous symbol of Chinese New Year. So on our notes, we'll write in dancing dragon. Okay, so now we're going to go up to Lunar New Year, and we're going to watch this.
Happy New Year, Moby! I know it's not January 1st, but today is Lunar New Year. It's an important holiday in many parts of Asia. Actually, communities all around the world celebrate Lunar New Year too. People go to dances and parades, spend time with family, and eat special foods. Our school is having a party to bring in the new year. When is Lunar New Year? Our calendar is based on Earth's path around the sun. It takes 1 year for Earth to travel around the sun. We celebrate New Year's on January 1st because it is the first day of the year. The lunar calendar is different from ours. It's based on the moon's phases. The first day of the lunar year falls somewhere between January 21st and February 20th on our calendar. Great question, Moby. How do people celebrate Lunar New Year? A tradition is a belief or action that is followed and passed down by a culture or group of people. Cultures around the world have different Lunar New Year traditions. In China, Lunar New Year is a part of the Spring Festival, which is 15 days long. People perform lion or dragon dances, which bring good luck to the community. The longer the dragon, the more luck it brings. People set off fireworks because the loud noises are meant to scare off evil spirits. I guess they scare robots too. On the last day of the Spring Festival, people light lanterns that share wishes or riddles for kids to solve. In Chinese culture, it's considered bad luck to wash or cut your hair on the first day of the year. The Chinese word for hair sounds similar to the word that means to become wealthy. So you don't want to wash or cut away any riches. In Vietnam, the Lunar New Year celebration is called Tet. Families gather and feast on special foods like bun chung, which are sticky rice cakes filled with meat and beans, and soy guk, which is a sticky red rice made with fruit. People decorate their homes with flowers and put up a special tree or pole where they hang good luck charms. There's also a tradition where the first guest of the year can spread good or bad luck, so people choose their first visitor wisely. Usually it's a family member or good friend. Who is it? Another Vietnamese tradition is to visit a temple and pray during the Lunar New Year. Then, people pick a bud from a nearby tree and take it home for good luck. In Korea, the Lunar New Year celebration is called Seollal. Many people dress in traditional clothing called hanbok and gather together to eat. One of the traditional foods is a soup with rice cakes. The rice cakes look like little coins, so the food is thought to bring good fortune or wealth. During the holiday, families spend time together playing games and flying kites. One activity is to jump on a seesaw. Children perform sabe, where they bow to their elders and wish them a happy new year. In return, the elders wish them success and give them a little money. In other Asian cultures, elders give children money on Lunar New Year too. You're right, Moby. Even though cultures celebrate Lunar New Year differently, they have some traditions in common. Many Vietnamese families set up altars honoring ancestors or family members who have passed away. They display photos and leave out a special plate of fruit. Many Korean families hold jasa, which is a special memorial service. They present traditional foods and bow to their ancestors. In some Asian cultures, people clean their homes right before the New Year to get rid of any bad luck that's sticking around. No matter how people celebrate, Lunar New Year is about spending time with family and friends and welcoming the New Year together. Learning about Lunar New Year is a great way to explore other cultures. Did you know that in Chinese culture, dumplings are considered good luck to eat on Lunar New Year? That's because they look like pieces of gold. Hey, you're supposed to share. Whoa.